Hey everybody, this is Vince Miller. Thank you so much for joining me for another devotional. Today we're going to be in John chapter 3. I'm going to read verses 25 down through 30. As I read the text today, I would like you to listen carefully to the interaction in the conversation. You're going to listen to John the Baptist and his followers talk about Jesus and his followers. And Jesus' ministry is really starting to pick up some steam and momentum at this point, and listen to how they respond. Now, a discussion arose between some of John's disciples and a Jew over purification. So there was some conversation or debate happening with John the Baptist's disciples. And they came to John and they said to him, "Rabbi, he who is with you across the Jordan," that's Jesus, "to whom you bore witness, look, he's baptizing, and they are all going to him." And John answered, "A person cannot receive one thing unless it is given to him from heaven." So he recognizes the things that he were given to him by God. "You yourselves bore witness that I said, I am not the Christ, but I have been sent before him. The one who has the bride is the bridegroom." So now he brings in this analogy. It's really an Old Testament metaphor used to describe the relationship between God, the bride, and the bridegroom, that is God's people. So he's describing relationship here, spiritual relationship. "The one who has the bride is the bridegroom. The friend of the bridegroom who stands and hears him rejoices at the bridegroom's voice. Therefore, this joy of mine is now complete." He's referencing that he is the one who is sending the message of the joy of the bride and the bridegroom coming together. "He must increase, but I must decrease." You know, guys, the discussion here is absolutely fantastic because it illustrates the tension between the natural man and the spiritual man. And it highlights this internal drive that we all have as men within us to seek significance. And the pursuit of seeking significance is a right pursuit if we understand how to pursue it. You see, all men, just like John the Baptist, have unique gifts and abilities and talents and messages and missions in this life. And the spiritual man understands that these things are dispersed to him by God, like John says here, for use in this world for God's glory, not our own. But the natural man has a really hard time understanding this. They think that their gifts and talents, along with their message and mission, et cetera, are for their glory. Therefore, when the natural man sees someone getting glory or gaining followers, like in this text, or growing in influence, like in this text, they feel a little threatened by it because they misunderstand their relationships to the gifts and the abilities and the talents and the message and the mission that God has given them. But John doesn't misunderstand this. John understands completely his gifts and talents and mission and ability and message, et cetera, et cetera. They were there to bring glory to Christ. That's it. They were not about him at any point. So his time had come to an end. Jesus must increase and John must decrease. And that motto right there, that adage, that axiom, whatever you want to call it, it should be at the center of every spiritual man's life. We should wake up in the morning and repeat that adage. He must increase, I must decrease. Because guess what? His glory is where we find all our significance. That's it right there. So if you've been trying to find significance with people like maybe your family or friends or colleagues and you still haven't found it, or if you've been trying to gain significance by means of like money and possessions and accomplishment, and you still feel unsatisfied, which I promise you will be, it might be time to try a different approach. It might be time to follow one who is significant, actually significant. And his name is Jesus. And in him, you will discover his glory, his gifts, his message, and his mission is all the satisfaction and significance you're ever gonna need. I love you guys. Pray this has blessed you today. If it has, share it with someone else, and I'll see you right back here again tomorrow.